Hello, I'm Scotty. Welcome to Scotty's Toy Box. I was going to do this video tomorrow morning, but I just got to the point listening to the news where I couldn't stand it, and so I decided I had to get my voice out there a little bit on the subject, and I'll pick it up tomorrow and go on more with it. I've also decided that I'm going to start doing a daily video on the news. I'm going to collect a bunch of news sources and just read through them to you and cover them as my feeling is and my understanding is. People are welcome to disagree with me. You're welcome to write in comments. You're welcome to give me your view. All I ask is that you be as respectful as is expected in a civil society. You get too far out with personal attacks on that, and I simply just not approve the comment. So there you go. Alrighty, take it for what it's worth. Now, almost had a complete disaster when I was setting up. See, I have to move my mic and turn stuff on and that, which I don't normally do. Turn lights around. I still haven't got the lighting right. I need to get a couple lights, I guess, underneath that shine up on my beautiful Vistas. But anyway, the mic that I have hooked to the side of my desk here, the whole arm of it came off. I caught it in my chair, in the back of my chair where I turned, and I shouldn't have, and almost came down and hit my glass of soda. Whoo-wee, I would have been a bad mess everywhere. But speaking of bad messes, what I want to talk about is I've been seeing some video of this right to unite the right or whatever rally that they're having, unite the right, which seems to me that's not really their problem these days. What they are is a bunch of white nationalists, white supremacists, and wannabe Nazis. I say wannabe Nazis because Nazis were a specific group that we destroyed back in the 1940s. And it should have stayed destroyed. Except people who don't know enough about history and who have a lot of hate in their hearts because they failed at becoming what they thought they should be and their rights are. So they started, how can we feel better about ourselves? We'll just insult this other group. We'll make fun of them and call them names. It's like the incel movement. And that's, to me, what these wannabe fuck Nazis, wannabe pretenders of the Third Reich or the Fourth Reich or whatever they want to call themselves. They're like the incels. Incels can't get laid because they won't do anything to make themselves worthy of getting laid, worthy of attraction from the whatever gender they're interested in, and so they take it out and they think it's something wrong with those people. Not me. Can't be me. I mean, don't shower and got scraggy teeth and don't brush and you know, haven't read a book or anything interesting to talk about. And so because I can't get anybody to want to spend more than 10 minutes with me, it's their fault. Well, what I want to talk about today, watching the videos of these groups getting ready for their protest, think about what they are trying to honor. These groups were carrying Confederate battle flags. Think about it for a minute. Last year when they got together, they said it was to protect the rights to have Confederate statues. Statues of Confederate generals and Confederate heroes displayed everywhere. People, I don't know if history is not something you studied or if you're not aware of this, but the South lost the war. Get over it. You lost. And stop saying that you love this country. You love the United States. You love America. Stop saying that. Because if you're willing to parade around with a flag of the very people that went to war against this country, our country, the one country you say you love, if you want to parade around with that flag, you don't love the country. If you want to honor the very people who attacked the legitimate government of the United States, you don't love the United States. I'm sorry, but you can't claim both. The South lost. This is the only war, the only country where the losers get to parade around like they were somehow the winners. The South lost, and they lost badly. They conceded. Your general gave up and signed the papers. Get over it. It was a long time ago and should have been buried in the past. We should have learned from it. Not repeat the same damn mistakes. All right, let's put it this way. We had a war with Vietnam. Wasn't a good war, was a stupid war, and I'm glad our people stood up in the streets and said, no, we just don't going to do this no more. We're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to go. And I'm glad Canada took in as many as they could. But you don't see people waltzing around the United States carrying Vietnamese flags and singing Vietnamese battle songs. Let's use another example. Let's see, who do we go to war with? Oh, I remember. Germany. A little guy named Hitler wanted to take over the world and make it a bunch of fascists and that. Had no use for anybody who wasn't white. Sound familiar? Thought he was superior even though he was not one of the shining examples of the race. Sound familiar? Well, anyway, this dog nut of a throw-up vomit, well, he got his ass smacked. In the end, he committed suicide. Yes, this great shining example cowered in a bunker and took his own life rather than stand up to what he knew was coming. So let me tell you something here. You don't see people running around with German flags, trotting up and down the roads, yelling about how great it was. Germany's our friend now, and there's a reason they're our friend. They got rid of the crap that was the Third Reich. That was the Nazis. Got rid of them, kicked out the party, made it all illegal. Said and done. We don't, in this country, honor the people that attacked the country. In 9/11, we were attacked by Saudi Arabia. Basically, we were attacked by Osama bin Laden's group, but 15 of the 19 attackers came from Saudi Arabia, and we are still great friends with Saudi Arabia. I can't figure that out. But you don't see people marching up and down the streets with Al-Qaeda banners going, ho, 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 we're proud sons of Al-Qaeda. We call that terrorism. And I call what you guys are doing in D.C., what you did last year in Charlottesville, terrorism. You marched around shouting, Jews will never replace us. That's fear. You're afraid. You're not good enough to make it on your own, so you want to blame somebody else because they put in the effort and they got ahead. Well, let me tell you one more thing. You are not special. Get over yourself. Just like get over that damn Confederate battle flag. Look, you marched around blaming everybody else for your problems. And the one guy there that was so tough, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. When he was arrested, he bawled like a baby. He put up a video crying his eyes out. Oh, I'm so scared. Well, that's okay to be scared. It's okay to be human. Admit it. But what's not okay is what you did before. Marching around, making all these threats and claiming that you're so great and that because somebody else is the fault. Get rid of the hatred in your life. A lot of you claim to be Christians. Now, I don't know much about different faiths. I know a little smattering here or there and all of them. But I don't recall Jesus saying, Let's get rid of all those people who are hungry, and let's get rid of all the people that need care, and let's not heal the sick, and let's not care for the children, and let's march around with dumbass flags from battles that we lost and blame everybody else. I don't really think that was his agenda. Alrighty, I think I've made my point here. If I haven't, I'll come back tomorrow and make it again. Get rid of the battle flag. The Confederate battle flag has no reason to be in this country except in a museum. Get rid of the dang Confederate statues all over the place. Put them in a museum. Because that war was lost by your side, by the Confederacy. The United States of America continues because the war was won by the United States of America. All right? Now, one last thing. You guys need to take responsibility for the hate you caused that caused one of your members to go ahead and ram a car into a bunch of people. I don't care that they were saying things you didn't want to hear. Sorry about that shit. That happens. Like, get out of the basement and get a job. All right? But he had no right to do that, and you have no right to stand behind him, and you sure to heck have no right to rile people up that way. You're just as responsible as he is. If you are part of a robbery, but you're in the car, driving the getaway car, and they do something in there, they shoot somebody or something, wherever they're robbing, the guy driving the car is just as damn responsible as the guy who pulled the trigger. That's the law. So, you riled these people up, you got them all excited, you got them all angry, and this wingnut went and did something he shouldn't have. Now, I'm not saying you should be held for murder, but you should be responsible for what you did to rile him up. Alrighty, I've had enough. I got things to do. I'm going to make these little rants daily, but I just had to say this. I had to get it off my chest. Hey, this is Scotty. Welcome to Scotty's Toy Box. As always, lots of hugs for everybody. Bye-bye. Dang, I told